I don't want to zoom in. Y'all don't need to see my face that close. Gosh dang. Wow, why does it look like that? Hold on. Give me a minute. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to. Ray light on. Hold on. Let me see. I don't know why I'm so zoomed in. Let me just check something really quickly. I'm trying to fix the settings on my phone and it's not working. Huh, how do you change that? Like I looked zoomed in. Let me look. I'll just do that then. I like that. Okay. Yeah. Love you. That's good, actually. Then you don't see me. You just, can you hear me? That's fine for me. Because I don't know what's going on with my phone. It's like zooming shit in. Can you hear me? One person that's in here. Doesn't look like you can hear me. Nope, yeah, you can. I couldn't figure out the settings to actually show my face because it looks all blurry. Out of that. Whoa. Yep, zoom into my melasma and my bushy brows, please do. How does this work? Why is it zoomed in? Can somebody help me, please? Okay, retouch. That's not going to help me at all. That's just going to have to work, guys. I don't know why it's doing that. Anyway, I'll just begin. Let's begin. Let's just start. You're going to need to see my face anyway. Okay, so I've been having a lot of God moments. Let me just say that. And I wanted to share it with you guys. Let me share this out. Okay, oh, we're back to... Oh! I don't even know what that does, dude. Like, honestly. Okay. Alright, we're good, I think. Oh my gosh. It has been a while. Like, I'm not even gonna lie, dude. I did some makeup, but I just covered my melasma. That's all I did. Come on. I want mascara. Whatever. Anyway, hi. Welcome back to my channel. If you haven't done so already, please like and share this out. I want to share some recent, I call them God moments because for me, there's no other way of explaining it. So, as of late, the political climate has been very divisive and insane. I'm a conservative, actually quite staunch one. I realized I used to joke and say I'm left leaning. No, I'm straight up conservative, which I was never like this before, mind you. When I was a young kid, I was always independent or declined to state, you know. So I've changed quite a bit. I think kids will do that to you, like having children will change your stance on a lot of things. But anyways, I was really triggered recently. God bless the kids that got shot up in that Catholic school recently. And I pray for their families, you know, and how do I put this? I was going to originally post a video that was kind of mean. I have no other way of explaining it. It's just mean, okay? I was going to be mean and because I'm just so angry. I'm so hurt and I don't have no way of explaining it. Like a lot of times I'll make videos and I'll just go off the wall and then I'll keep it to myself like a form of therapy. I know that sounds really stupid, but sometimes it helps. It's weird, but anyway. So I was gonna post this video basically, I mean, I still believe in what I said, but it was really mean. It was said in a really mean way. And right when I was about to post it, I got a DM on my, was it TikTok? I believe it was TikTok. I don't want to like, um, I'm not going to say who it was because I don't know if they want me to, you know what I mean? I'm not going to be rude and be like, this is who messaged me, you know? I don't know if they would like that. So I'm just going to keep it, you know? But a nice lady reached out and let me know that we lost one of the good ones in our community, Judge Jenny. And she was a mod of mine. I loved her so much. You know, she stood up against the hatred and the LGBT, well, against the LGBTQIA plus plus plus. I mean, that's just, I'm fatigued. But she stood up for Christians being really mean and hateful towards them, and I thought that that was very, it was something to look up to, I feel like. um, she's always been such a sweetheart. She's always stuck up for me. Like, she's always had my back. And I made her a mod because she's a good mod. Judge Jenny's a good person. She's beautiful, gorgeous, inside and out. You know, you can just tell. So I love you, Judge Jenny, and I pray that your family um, gets through this, you know. So a lady reached out on TikTok and told me Judge Jenny passed away right as I was about to post this video. And it was a mean-spirited video. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, I cussed in it. I don't ever cuss. So to me, that was the Lord's way of saying, you know, that's not gonna help anything. Being angry and mad is really not gonna help anything, you know. It's kind of like why we're in the position we're in, I feel, um, as a society, because that's a whole other conversation. um, but it kind of, like, the Lord was telling me to soften my heart, right? And I'm like, I've already done soften my heart with these people. Like, I grew up in that group. Like, I hung out with gothics and gays and all those types, you know, the odd ones, you know, I kicked it with them, like the misfits, you know, that was who I grew up with. And so I've always been tolerant. I've always accepted it and like just thought it was just about who it is, you know, it's life. People are different, whatever. Until it started to kind of infiltrate my life. I don't understand. I just want to put this out there real quickly. I don't understand how people can be so hypocritical. Like, I I pray for discernment on this daily. Um, you know, we got the American flag out of class. We got God out of class. You know, we did all that. You know, I voted for y'all to get married. You know what I mean? Um, and then I feel like y'all turned around and just put all your stuff in class and your beliefs and your, it's like that's a hypocrite. You know what I mean? When you're saying that I don't believe in this, right? So we should not have it. Okay, great, cool. But I believe in this, so we should put it in here. I just don't understand the hypocrisy in that. And I really, maybe you guys can chime in and explain to me why that is, because I don't get it. And I'm sorry. I don't understand that. And so it's kind of darkened my heart toward that community, because it's just, if you can see what's going on in the community, the LGBT plus whatever community, you can tell that the devil has done infiltrated y'all. I'm sorry. You may not see it, but I do. As a Christian, I can see it. And I want that to change. And a lot of times I think Christians are to blame because we don't open our hearts and our arms and our help to people that are different, you know? Um, I often wonder if Christians would act like true Christians, would we be in this predicament? I don't think so. You know, I actually don't think so. So, you know, there's that. But hi Kaden. Welcome. So, my heart has been a little bitter. I've been bitter lately. And like I said, I was going to post this video that was just totally not me. Like, I'm not a hateful person. And I'm trying my best to be Christian, like, be Christian, like, practice Christianity. Because you can be Christian all you want to, but to actually put it into practice is a whole different thing. Like, you know, that's a whole different realm. And I've been trying to do that. And as hard as it is, for me, it's hard, it just is. I don't know. Maybe as I age and get older, it'll change. But it's been very hard for me to practice it fully, because I'm human. We're all fallible, right? We're all going to fuck up. We all sin. Your sin is no different than mine. You know what I mean? But just when I was about to post that hateful video, and then I got the news that Judge Jenny had passed away, the Lord just knocked me down a few pegs. And I'm willing to admit that. And I'm sorry if I offended anybody recently with my posts. Like, so, I mean, again, I do stand behind them, though. Like, I don't want to sit here and pretend like that's not how I feel, because it is how I feel. And this is not the video to go more detail into it, but I just think that we need to start being here for one another. It doesn't matter what your belief or, anything like. Oh, hi, Jessica Boo. Ignorant people blame LGBTQ for atrocity that happened. First off, these things have been done by many straight people. Hold up. But that's okay. But as soon as LGBT does, it's wrong. They're evil. Most LGBT are good. No, I do believe that most LGBT are good. I used to support them 100%, right? And I still do to a degree, but not to the degree that I used to, because I see that the devil has infiltrated that flag. When you start to have stripes on there that represent pedophiles, I think that y'all need to kind of take a step back, maybe just a little bit, and like look at that and be like, wow, how is that even a thing? Like, how could that even be like ever happen? Like, how could anyone suggest that? You know what I mean? And I think a lot of times if Christians acted truly like Christians, we wouldn't be in this predicament to begin with. We just wouldn't be. And so I'm calling on all Christians and the LGBT community to better understand one another and tolerate one another and help each other, because that's what the Lord wants. He wants us to love each other. It doesn't matter. It don't matter. But you need to see the hypocrisy in taking God out of school and placing that like you have. I mean, I wish you could look outside yourself. This is how I try to be Christian: is I look outside of myself and I go, okay, I understand that people are part of that community. Great. I voted for y'all to get married. Okay. I mean, I was gung ho. And then you guys proceed to soften my heart, Lord, let trans, like, full on drag queens go to libraries for children. Do you know how confusing that is for a little baby brain? Okay. Like, look outside yourself. I understand a lot of you don't have kids, especially littles right now. And I've always been supportive. They're against God, however, we should still love them. I think their recent behaviors have shown that that's the direction it's going, and I don't want that. I don't want that for that community. I want them to kind of step outside themselves, even though it's probably really hard, because it seems like they can't. A lot of them can't. Not everybody. Like, I'm a big fan of Blair White. If you guys don't know who she is, that she's trans, okay? And I love her. I think she's wonderful. I think she's great for the community. And everybody hates her so bad. And I'm like, she's literally speaking common sense, in my opinion. In my opinion. My opinion doesn't have to match yours. We don't have to agree. That's what's so great about America. And when I got that text saying that Judge Jenny had passed away, I stopped myself from posting my hateful video I was going to post. And it's not, and I think that this is the government in work. Like, they're trying to pit us against each other. And so they will like show the negative aspects of something, and then they'll try to infiltrate like groups, and they try to do their weird stuff. I mean, just look into MK Ultra, look into all these things that it's creepy, it's weird, and there's a lot of bad stuff happening, okay? And in order to change things, I own my shit by saying I think a lot of these people are the way they are because of Christians who aren't acting Christian, you know? Like, nowhere in the Bible does it say you're going to go to hell if you're gay. It just doesn't, you know? It doesn't. And so the Christian communities that are like spouting that off and saying that, it's hard in y'all's hearts. And I get it. Okay. But that's not what the Bible says. So instead of listening to the Christians that want to give you a false narrative, why don't you just read the Bible? You know, that's my suggestion. And then I'm going to try to practice to be a better Christian and to soften my heart. Because of what to me, that's a God sign. Like, I'm about to post some hateful shit, and then I find out Judge Jenny passed away, and she supported LGBTQ, and she was a Christian. And that's a God sign in my eyes. You know, to me, that's the Lord saying, don't do that. It's not Christian. It's just not. And so I have a lot of work to do on myself, but I just call upon y'all to do a little bit work on yourselves too, you know, because nothing changes if nothing changes. Sabrina, hello. And so, like, for me, yeah, I was mad, but then it softened my heart, and I realized I was doing something wrong immediately when I learned she passed away. And for that, I'm grateful, because it put me in check. It knocked me down a little bit, you know, and we got to welcome that. We got to welcome growth. You know, if you're just going to sit there and be like, no, because I disagree with you, man, that's not the way we're supposed to work. Okay. We're supposed to, you know, I too will do my best to change the bad parts about me. I don't need it, right? Yeah, because I don't know if you heard the whole story. You're going to have to replay it, but like, a mod of mine passed away, and she was Christian, and she, you know, supported LGBTQ, but she was Christian, you know, like, that's true Christian. You shouldn't hate anybody or be mean, you know, just because of someone. I mean, we were all sinners, right? I sin daily. Like, I wake up and my thoughts start sinning, right? And I want to make a point and have people hear me without being mean. Because people aren't going to hear you if you're just sitting there yelling, like, you know, nobody's going to hear anything. So I'm going to try my best to do better. How are you? I'm all right. I'm a little sad, to be honest. I miss Judge Shetty, and I was wondering where she was, honestly. I was like, wait, she hasn't been around in a while. Like, maybe she doesn't like my posts, or like, you know, maybe I'm messing up or whatever. And then all of a sudden I get that news. I'm like, wow. And I am fairly conservative. I want to share a story with you, like a kind of like a God moment again, too, not pertaining to this. Hi, Punch Monkey. Oh, thank you. And welcome then. Welcome to my channel. But I wanted to share something too, because again, I'm a conservative. Okay. And well, fairly new conservative, I'll say, because my whole life I've always been liberal. Okay. Which I think most of us are, especially when you're younger. But like, for example, I'm really, 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 really like staunch on illegals, because I don't like how things have been handled with our government, and how, like, in the past to now, like, old me, like, let's say Trump was doing this when I was like 21, I would be livid. Okay. I'd be really upset, right? I worked at this mall. I'm not gonna say where or whatever. And there was this lady that I worked with, Grace, right? She was a sweet girl. And we sold tickets, like, lottery, where I was, and there was always this Hispanic old man who'd come in, and like, I knew a little bit of Spanish because most of my friends could speak Spanish, and you know, I would wish him luck and like whatever, I'd be like, okay, you know, I could tell which ones he wanted or whatever, and he actually tried to start to have like a full-on conversation with me, and I was like, I don't know very much Spanish, you know, I only know enough to get by, kind of. And then he got so mad. He was like, "Oh, how dare you? You don't even speak Spanish. Like, what's wrong with you?" And my girlfriend Grace, she's Mexican. She told him off basically. She's like, "How dare you? She's native. She doesn't know fucking Spanish. You know, you're in America. Start speaking English." And I looked at her like, "Oh, Grace, we're in customer service, Grace. Calm yourself." Woo, you know. And then he left all mad. His wife said, "So sorry, so sorry." I'm like, "Well, no, don't worry about it." And she's like, "I'm so sick of this shit." Yeah, she got so mad. She was angry, dude. I'm like, "Dude, calm down, bro. Like, it's not that big a deal." And she's like, "Yes, it is. My family fought to be here, you know." And she talked about like everything they've been through just to be here, and they did it all the right way. And then this fool comes up like acting like I should know, you know. She explained it to me, and she taught me what patriotism was. And I honestly, I respect her for that. At the time, I just was like, "Dang, this girl's pissed," and then I realized, oh, she's right. You know what I mean? So I am a staunch conservative. I'm a Christian, and I'm proud of those things. Um, I mean, I think we could all do better, you know, especially Christians, because Christians will claim to be Christian and then they have a lot of hate and they just sit there, spout off, and talk and just be mean. And I was becoming that way. Sorry, Lord. I don't want to become that way, but I want you to hear what I'm saying in the same time without offending, if that makes sense. I don't know how I'm going to do this. I don't know if it's possible, but I'm going to try. And, you know, Judge Jenny, God showed me the right direction and what not to do, and I am listening to him. So, with that being said, if you guys could pray for me so that way I'm not so angry, you know, like I can go back to like normalcy. I've been so busy with the kids, you guys. I don't like Buddy's in kindergarten and he's still half a day. Like, so he goes to school for like 3 hours, Monday through Friday. So I mean, it's so freaking cute. My kids are so good. You know, the principal came up to my husband. Like, I dropped them off and he picks them up. And he came up to him and was like, "Your kids are so good." And I'm like, "Oh, you know, how nice." Like, that was so sweet. And the teachers always have nothing but like good work, because I teach my kids kindness too. Like, I'm not trying to be like, I don't want I teach them to be good, you know, and that's the whole point. I want them to be good people. And I can't believe we're doing so good. Like, me and my husband as a team, we're a freaking team. You know, we're raising some good individuals right now, and that's all I could ask for. But as I'm going to try to scale down my anger, I just ask that the LGBT community kind of takes a look at themselves. Like, I just try it. Just try. Like, I know it's really hard. Like, take yourself outside of yourself and look at families and stuff, and, you know, assess your views and your thoughts. Not necessarily like who you love, but like how you're acting and how you are. Oh, Northern Woman, hello. Like, I'm trying to change too. I'm trying to do better too. And I just ask that you guys try to too. You know? We got to do that. We got to live on the same earth together, y'all. And we just stayed home. We were like, we don't like going out when we like going out on off days. You know, we'll go camping when no one else is out there. That's what we do. But I've been, oh God, you got to rewatch this whole video. I hope what I'm trying to say comes across and it's not mean and it's not vengeful or hateful in any way, because that is not my intention. I'm not that person. I just want you to understand other people's perspectives. Yeah, I don't want to be around a bunch of people. My husband especially does not. So, like, we go like on off days. We don't go and absolutely everyone's out in the woods camping. Like, that's just not fun for us. But so I asked for you guys to pray for me to soften my heart. And pray for Judge Jenny's family. And pray for the LGBT community. Someday things will be normal, right? I feel like we're going on the upswing. Punch Monkey, very well said. Thank you. I'm trying not to be like, mean. And Judge Jenny, I don't know if it was the Lord or Judge Jenny, but she was like, don't post that. That's me. I'm glad I didn't. Well, actually, I did on TikTok for a split second, and I took it down real quick. I'm like, oh gosh, what am I doing? I can be. I try my hardest not to be, dude. I pray every day. I have to pray almost hourly. I'm not even joking. I do. And we're all fallible, y'all. We're human, okay? Like, let's not make it us and them anymore. Like, thank you, Sabrina. I'm trying. It's gonna take a minute. Like, I'm not gonna. When you Christian, just because you say you're Christian, it doesn't mean you're perfect either. But you should at least be striving to be the best version of yourself, I feel. Yeah, we have to come together right now. I agree. But yeah. With that being said, I'm gonna go. I have to go grocery shopping, and then I haven't even washed. Dude, my hair, it's greasy and gross. That's why it's kind of like half up, because I haven't even washed. Like, I came on here so fast because I know I have a window of time and I have to hurry up, and so if you haven't watched it from the beginning, please do. Give me your thoughts. Be respectful, please, but give me your thoughts below, like in the comment section. Let's start a discussion. Let's talk about it, because what's so dangerous is not talking about it. To me, that's so scary. I don't want that. So that being said, I love you. Stay positive, even though it's really hard sometimes. Have an awesome day. I will, Punch Monkey. Thank you, Sabrina. I appreciate that. And I appreciate you saying my hair looks good, because it's like greasy and then frizz. So thank you for saying. I love you guys. Stay blessed. Mwah.